Hello, I'm State Representative Brian Hill from the 94th House District. Welcome to Ohio in Focus.
Hello, and welcome to this edition of Ohio in Focus, a program that brings state government to you. I'm your host, Kelly Rybacki. We have with us today State Representative Brian Hill, who serves the 94th House District, which includes Coshocton County and most of Muskingum County. Thank you for joining us today, Representative.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
So let's get started a little bit, and let's talk about your family, your education, your background, and anything else you may want to touch on.
Sure. Well, I'm married. I have a wife, Tracy, and 3 children, Kaylee, Cameron, and Connor. They're 13, 9, and 5. And my background is agriculture. Been in the agriculture business, farming and agriculture sales for several years. My education was with 2 years at the Ag Technical Institute at Worcester, which is part of the Ohio State University. And then I went on to get my bachelor's degree in animal science from the Ohio State University some time ago.
Okay, that sounds great. So what jobs did you hold prior to becoming state representative?
Well, just prior to becoming state representative, I was Muskingum County Commissioner for 6.5 years. I enjoyed that immensely. That was a great opportunity to serve the people of Muskingum County and get to know part of the district. And prior to that, well, even while doing that, I was still involved in ag sales with ADM, where I covered parts of 6 counties for 20 plus years and farmed with my father on a beef cattle farm in Muskingum County. We worked together there.
What first inspired you to run for the office of state representative?
Well, some time ago, getting involved with things such as local farm bureau, cattlemen's organizations, and probably the biggest reason was being elected to serve on the Guernsey Muskingum Electric Board and taking that opportunity to represent constituents and go to Washington, come to Columbus and talk to legislators about the needs of people in the rural areas. And I really kind of got interested in what the legislature done, and thought someday I might like to be part of that. So.
Great. Well, we're happy to have you here.
Thank you.
How's your time thus far on the state level differed from the local level and your business experience as well?
Well, you know, you can have a great idea and you come up here full of energy, and you know, it's a lot different than being a county commissioner, where normally there you just have to convince one other person that this is a great idea. Here we've got 99 people in the House that we work with, plus the Senate and the governor's office. But it's been a great experience so far, and I expect it'll continue to be. Just again, trying to go through the committee process and talk about issues that are important to our district and to the state of Ohio.
Well, each district has different issues that they're facing. So what would you say are the major issues that the 94th House District faces right now, and what are you doing to work on those?
Well, I think the biggest thing, not only for the 94th District, but probably around the state, is just jobs. And everything we do here in Columbus needs to focus somewhere on how that will improve the job climate in the state of Ohio. And in Muskingum and Coshocton County, not unlike any other in eastern Ohio, but working a lot with the shale development for the gas and oil development of that area stands to hold a lot of promise for that area and the state of Ohio in providing jobs, direct jobs, and also affiliated jobs to that industry is going to, there's a lot of promise to what could be for the people of that area. So we're working on those efforts. In our area too, we've always wanted to reinvest in the community, and we have what's called a Muskingum County Business Incubator, which is actually a 9-county regional incubator, which will help entrepreneurs get started and get their feet on the ground. So that's an effort I'm working with to try to help get that off the ground. It's in a new facility, and just has some remarkable stories of people who have great ideas and just need a hand up to get started. So that's huge. Our college, which is several colleges in the area, Zane State, Ohio University, Muskingum College, and then our adult education programs through the Joint Vocational School is helping train individuals for this workforce of today, especially in the shale, the gas and oil development, as well as science and technologies that are really people are getting interested in and again stepping up to help with that in the area.
That's great, and we are facing some exciting times in Ohio. How are your constituents responding to these types of changes and this emphasis on aligning the workforce and these new jobs?
I think they're all getting behind it, and what a great opportunity again for individuals to have a chance. The people that live in my district, I talked to some of them the other day and was talking about the gas and oil industry and the taxation, and they says, we just want a job. We just want an opportunity to make a living for our families. We want to get up every day and go to work, and just don't get in our road. Allow us to produce jobs and produce an income for our families. So that's what they're concerned about.
Are you pretty confident that Ohio is starting to head in the right direction?
I believe so. I think the climate over the last year and a half has changed, and making Ohio more competitive for industries to locate here, to grow their businesses here, and of course employ Ohioans.
Great. Are there any specific pieces of legislation regarding jobs in the economy that you'd like to touch on?
Well, Jobs Ohio was a great initiative by the governor to look at things differently and allow business people to be involved with the Department of Development, and I think that's a great way for us to put Ohio in more of a competitive stature, and that's been great. And some of the other bills, House Bill 153 allowed the state to balance their budget without raising taxes. That's helping industry say, Ohio is serious about wanting to be a pro-business state, and I'm glad to be part of those efforts any way I can be.
Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the specific pieces of legislation that you and your office is currently working on. Can you tell the viewers a little bit about what you're doing down in Columbus?
Sure. We're joint sponsors on House Bill 326, which is a good bill that makes sure that public employers, public entities don't use taxpayer dollars to run campaigns. So that's in the Senate right now, and we're happy to be part of that. House Bill 415 was an AgLink loan to help farmers increase the amount of money that they can borrow on an AgLink loan from $100,000 to $150,000, which will put more dollars into the local economy and quite frankly, help a lot of young farmers get a start in agriculture. Introduced a bill, it's House Bill 445, that's a corner bill that will allow counties, many of the things that counties and local governments told me when I come up here is, try to relieve the mandates on local government. And House Bill 445 will allow counties to decide whether they have an elected coroner's position or whether they want to contract with another county. So this will allow there to be more collaboration between counties, especially in an office that sometimes struggles to have people that want to run for that office just because of the demands of their private practice and then stepping in to do public work as well. And one of the most controversial bills, I guess, is the exotic animal bill that's going on right now. It's in the Senate. We dropped the same bill in the House, and deals with all the exotic animals, with the tragedy that took place in October in Muskegon County with the release of over 50 animals and the actual death of the owner himself. So a real tragedy for human life as well as animal life in that instance. So we're looking at how we can regulate those exotic animals here in the state of Ohio.
Well, it certainly sounds like you've been busy while you're in Columbus.
Yeah,
is there
so.
Is there a typical day for you while you're at the Ohio House? Anything that you consistently do?
After driving 50 miles, I make sure I find a restroom. Drink plenty of coffee, but no, it's continuing to review constituent concerns, phone calls that come in, and my aide's a great help in that effort to make sure we stay on track and are addressing constituent calls and letters. But the average day is a lot of committee work and hearing testimony during committees, and then of course, when we're in session, the votes that are so important to not only my district but the state of Ohio, and being informed on those votes is very important to me.
Well, you talked about committee work. What committees are you a member of?
I'm on the Ag and Natural Resources Committee, the Health and Aging Committee, and Local Government Committee.
Are there any bills that we haven't talked about yet that are going through those committees that are of particular interest to you?
I think I've touched on most of those.
Okay.
The Health and Aging is a very busy committee, and the Local Government Committee right now, we're dealing with sections of the mid-budget review. So that's, really important with what the administration is offering. We're making sure we review the part that deals with local governments, and that's quite interesting. And the chairman, Blair, has did a great job in moving that bill along with what we're dealing with.
What do you enjoy most about your job, your time back in the district and your time here?
It's the people. It's being able to meet with the people and have roundtable discussions or one-on-one discussions about things that are of importance to the members, or to the constituents of my district, and trying to carry forward the wants and needs of that community and represent them here in Columbus.
Are there any particular groups of constituents that you're working with now currently back in the district to bring forth some upcoming legislation or issues?
Well, we don't have any legislation, drawn up, but there's groups of various people in the healthcare field that are concerned about some of the undue audits or the stressful audits that affect their, I'll say, the pharmacist, if you will, and concerns about the cost and burdens of some of the audits that are performed. Likewise, I mentioned the incubator, working with those folks to try to find some ongoing funding in a private-public partnership type role to try to help, again, develop entrepreneurs, which will, again, hire individuals in our community and our state for valued employment. And then lastly, we've been working the last year with some people in the faith community to try to find ways that the faith community can interact with our government programs to help individuals who are really suffering in the area. And I'm really proud to say that many of those individuals, when asked, have stepped up and said, how can we help? So we're talking through some issues there to see how, again, our faith-based community might help with some of our programs, that social services programs that the state spends millions of dollars over and do great work, but is there a way for them to step up and help as well in that effort, because so many people do suffer in the state of Ohio.
Well, Representative, some of the viewers back home are probably wondering what's the best way to get in contact with you if they have any questions or concerns.
Sure.
How would they do that?
Well, they could call my office or email my office, and we'd be glad to contact any of them or to respond back to any of them that might express concerns or have questions for me or my aide.
Great. Well, Representative, it's been great having you on the show. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
We look forward to seeing you again on the next edition of Ohio in Focus, the program that brings state government to you. Thank you for joining us.